Welcome Trinidad and Tobago to our News 4 report, a product of the Government Information Services Limited and the Ministry of Communications. I'm Nicola Barito. Let's take a look at the headlines. Existing future medical students to benefit from approved refurbishment works. 2013 ICAT International Finance Conference opens this week in Trinidad and Tobago. And the Ministry of Sport launches its Life Sports Sport Festival. Thank you for joining us. Cabinet has approved refurbishment works at the Port of Spain General Hospital that will benefit thousands of existing and future medical students.
Facilities for student nurses and doctors of the University of the West Indies posted at the Port of Spain General Hospital are to be upgraded. This was revealed by Health Minister Dr. the Honourable Fuad Khan while speaking at Thursday's post-cabinet news briefing. The Honourable Minister says this is in an effort to ensure that the university maintains its accreditation status.
The Caribbean Accreditation Authority for Education in Medicine and other health professions, such as CAM-HP, that is the accreditation body for most of these teaching hospitals, San Fernando, Port of Spain, Eric Williams, and Sandy Grande. And for hospitals to maintain their accreditation status, not only must the program be one of excellent nature, but also student accommodation and other factors such as student library, seminar rooms, etc. For a very long time, and it will be noted that the student housing area and the medical library area of the Port of Spain General Hospital has been in dire need of repair. And it has been such that there are many complaints by students, teachers alike, as well as the Caribbean Accreditation Authority. They have indicated that if this facility is not dealt with as soon as possible, there will be de-accreditation problems occurring for the University of the West Indies, as well as the programs that will be associated with the hospital, Port of Spain General Hospital.
Minister Khan says the Port of Spain General Hospital, like many other hospitals, is used for the practical undergraduate training of medical students. He says the library and other student facilities are housed at a building on the compound of the hospital that is more than 30 years old and is severely deteriorated.
The Ministry of Health, together with the University of the West Indies, came upon a plan that we needed a structure to house the students and at the same time stave off the problem of de-accreditation. When one goes towards the Port of Spain General Hospital, on the northern part of the hospital, there is a building that does not have a roof. This has not had a roof for close to about 5 or more years. We have asked the Northwest Regional Health Authority for permission to construct a 4-story student housing area on that building, and it will be linked to a doctor's housing area, an intern's housing area, together with a nursing housing area in the future. But this one that we're speaking about now will be just for the new teaching and student facility, the 4-story structure. In it, the lower part of that structure, there will be seminar rooms, a computer lab. There will also be the medical library, both in-house and virtual. And above it, the other 3 stories will be student accommodation that will be for the students of University of West Indies, University of Trinidad and Tobago, nursing and medical students from Port of Spain General Hospital.
Minister Khan says there will also be parking accommodation for students and staff, and the entire cost to complete the works will fall between $19 to $20 million, which will be funded by the Northwest Regional Health Authority and the Ministry of Health. To ensure the efficiency of work, there will be an open tender process for potential contractors who fall within that Regional Health Authority. Meanwhile, the Honourable Minister says students at the San Fernando General Hospital were provided with proper student housing 2 years prior, and the latest developments at Port of Spain would all tie into a master plan to turn the hospital into a hospital campus utilising the entire structure. Nikolai Edwards, News 4.
Meanwhile, approval has been given by the Cabinet for more than $6.3 million in compensation and grants to residents of Toko and surrounding areas, as well as to assist senior citizen accommodation.
123 fishermen will soon receive compensation for losses they sustained due to bad weather earlier this year. This was revealed by Member of Parliament for Toko Sangre Grande, Dr. the Honourable Rupert Griffith, during Thursday's post-Cabinet news briefing.
Cabinet agreed to the payment of compensation to fishermen who were adversely affected by the unusual weather in January this year, January 13 and 14. Some of you may recall that major devastation. There were fishermen from several areas, and I will tell you the areas from which the damage took place, but Cabinet agreed to pay $3,859,203.22 in compensation to the fisher folks from Guayari, Toko, Cumana, Grand River, Matlot, Maracas, Las Cuevas, Blanchishes, La Fillet, Damien Bay, Bonas, and Icacas.
Dr. Griffith said many of the fishermen's boats, nets, tackles, and several other fishing equipments were damaged.
You may also recall on that day it was really a freak storm. There was no warning. Normally in these coastal areas, particularly the ones I know of in Toko Sangre Grande, when they get bad weather warnings, they very judiciously secure their boats and equipment. But on that day, it was a freak storm, and it really created that havoc and that damage. So we are pleased that Cabinet made a decision for the 123 fishermen who submitted claims. They were assessed by the Fisheries Division in the Ministry of Food Production, and based on the assessment, they were fully compensated.
Meanwhile, Dr. Griffith also revealed that a decision was taken to approve a total of $2.5 million in grants to the Toko Senior Citizens Home through the Public Sector Investment Program.
One, a one-off grant in the sum of $1 million to cover labor costs associated with the reconstruction of work of the home. Two, a one-off grant in the sum of $500,000 to cover costs associated with the furniture and furnishings for the home. And three, a one-off grant in the sum of $1 million to cover the cost of labor and materials to upgrade the matron's quarters, as well as to meeting monthly rental of $5,000 for the lease of the premises located at number 28 Paria Road, Toko. This is the location where all of the reconstruction is going on.
He said the Toko Senior Citizens Home is the only of its kind in the area and tries its best to meet the needs of the residents there. Dr. Griffith was pleased with the approval of the Cabinet notes and believes they will go a long way in assisting his constituents. Nikolai Edwards, News 4.
When we come back, fair and honest practices within business can avoid financial problems. Stay with us. Fair and honest practices within business places can avoid the financial problems faced around the globe. This was the view of Justice Vash Ish Cockrum, who shared his comments during the feature speech at the opening of the 2013 ICAT International Finance Conference.
Ethical practices within the financial sector will prevent a number of economic downfalls experienced by conglomerates and large businesses. This was the focus of the feature address presented by Justice Vash Ish Cockrum during the opening of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of TNT, ICAT's International Accounting and Financial Conference, Avoiding the Fiscal Cliff. He says the fine line between legal acts and unethical practices is what defines dishonesty in the business place.
Immorality can lurk under the shield of legality. And so as professionals, it is easy to spot the illegality informed by unethical conduct. There is, however, a blind quadrant in the field of the not illegal but unethical act. And in those cases, do we wait for the law to catch up to our immoral conduct, or do we live up to the moral credo of responsibility? Do we close our eyes and wish evil away, Or do we stand up against wrongdoing? Do we dare to speak the truth? Do we dare to express a dissenting view in conformity with our codes of ethics? Do we dare to care?
He pointed out that proper ethical guidelines lay the foundation for democracy, while at the same time free market values and social justice.
Terms of ethics in the form of ethical regulations may be missing the mark. We need to speak in terms of our purpose, our goal, our humanity, our humanism, our call to duty, our call to reorient ourselves to the pressing demands of national development, and the recognition that we do not wield power and influence in isolated spheres of influence. We are all connected. We all coexist. And for a democratic system based on a free market to survive, for a democratic principle of fundamental freedoms and the right to social justice to be given any credence, we must create for ourselves an ethos of corporate responsibility, or what I would call conscionable capitalism.
A lecturer of ethics at the Hugh Wooding Law School, Justice Cockrum says creating business governance policies around the development of honesty as a characteristic, as opposed to punishment if caught, will lead to better managed corporations.
We must emphasize character rather than rules or consequences. Adequate corporate strategy must include non-economic goals. An economic strategy is humanized and made attainable in a living organization by deciding on the character the company is to have, the value it espouses, and its relationships to its customers, employees, communities, and shareholders.
Within recent years, the question of Trinidad and Tobago's business model and ethical values were raised during the downfall of CLICO and ATO companies, which government has since then remedied through several legislative moves with amendments to the Insurance Bill and the Credit Union and Cooperative Act. Kimberly Calloway, News 4.
In other news, the National Self-Help Commission is continuing on its drive to fulfill its motto of empowering communities across the nation. Following ceremonies in Tunapuna and Rio Claro, the Commission has also taken its grant presentation ceremony to Princestown.
MP for Naparima and Minister of Public Utilities, the Honourable Nizam Baksh, was on hand for the distribution ceremony in which several persons from his constituency received grants. At the ceremony, the Commission awarded 50 grants to persons from 3 constituencies, Naparima, Tableland Maruga and Princestown. Speaking to the persons gathered, MP Baksh says the National Self-Help Commission, just like he and other state officials responsible for helping the needy, are bound to their jobs by more than duty.
Remember that the people we are coming across here are people who belong to the low income category, the lowest rung of the economic ladder here. And when we visit and we see the living conditions of these families and so, it touches our heart. And this is why we have a conscience and we want to make sure that we could deliver to those people.
MP Baksh says the National Self-Help Commission is working within its limitations, but assures that plans are in the pipeline to expand the growing number of persons assisted through the Commission.
It's a pity we don't get more money, more funding, that we could do it, accelerate it a little faster and reach out a little further as well. But we hope that in due course, when the prosperity increases in this country here, we'll be able to expand this program and reach out to a lot more communities.
The Naparima MP commends the Commission for trying its best to assist as many persons as possible, despite its limited budget, and explains some of the Commission's achievements.
For the last financial year, we have given about 1,650 grants to citizens across the country. And over the last 3 years, we have given over 5,000 grants to citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, those who are really in need and deserving. You know, they have gone further in the last year and started on a program where they were assisting very poor families to construct homes, 2-bedroom homes and so. And they have done 95 of these, some nearing completion, but 95 to date. And we hope that in the new year, new fiscal year, which starts in October here, that we could really accelerate on this program and reach out to many more families that really are in need.
If you wish to apply for a National Self-Help grant, You can get an application form through your Member of Parliament's office, or you can visit the National SelfHelp Commission's office at La Salle Court, 75 Abercrombie Street in Port of Spain. Gregory McBurney, News 4.
When we come back, the Ministry of Sport launches its Live Sport Festival. Stay with us. The Ministry of Sport has launched its Live Sport Festival. The festival will attract over 2,000 athletes participating in 4 sporting disciplines: football, basketball, windball cricket, and track and field.
Speaking at the launch, Chairman of the Live Sport Cup, Forbes Prasad, says the festival will use the medium of sport to develop young people and keep them away from a life of crime. It centers on the participants in the Live Sport program and gives them a chance to socialize and compete against each other. However, Mr. Prasad says while the young people taking part will aim to win, the festival will also attempt to develop certain life skills, particularly fair play and friendship.
The major aim or the winner should be the sport itself. We go out there and we give it our best shot. You play hard, you play to win, but play fair at all times. Play fair. Nobody goes into a competition or in a game and you're going out there to lose. You go out to win. You play to win. But at the end of the game, play fair and let the game be the winner. Let's make friends. Let there be camaraderie amongst the participants.
The festival begins this Friday and will incorporate all centers within the Live Sport program. The program currently caters to 34 communities throughout Trinidad. The event is expected to foster inter-community relations, camaraderie and networking whilst showcasing talents that has been nurtured during the past year. Gregory McBurney, News 4 Sports.
Thank you very much, Gregory. News 4 continues after the break. Stay with us. An award ceremony was held in honor of the winners of the TT Post National Letter Writing Competition 2013. This coincided with other postal agencies around the world joining hands as World Post Day was celebrated.
The Universal Postal Union, of the UPU, is the international governing body for Post, whose purpose is to create and maintain a structure for free flow of international mail around the world. It has done so quite successfully, and TT Post has been an able-bodied partner in this pursuit. This competition could not have been possible without the support of the Ministry of Education, from which the pupils were sought for their distribution of promotional materials for schools across Trinidad and Tobago.
I want to thank you for delivering more than mail. I want to thank you for partnering with the Ministry of Education in promoting what is really one of the components of the English syllabus, the English A syllabus.
Ms. Cheryl Ann Wilkinson, representative from the Ministry of Education, says letter writing has become almost a dying skill in the day of instant messaging and advanced technology. She said they were elated that TT Post understood the need and importance for letter writing, which incorporates all the skills of essay writing. This, she says, promote all aspects of the English A syllabus that is taught in secondary schools.
You may find that I am sounding very happy and a little biased, and I am, because when I taught, my teaching subject was English. So I appreciate the importance of letter writing.
I believe the children are our future. Teach them well, let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give People need someone to look up to. I never found anyone to fulfill my needs.
Minister of Public Utilities Nizam Bakhsh says TT Post must be commended for organizing the local leg of this letter writing competition, and by doing so encouraging the young people to do something that they would not have otherwise done.
Today's technology allows us to communicate across continents in real time. We use Skype or other video calling applications, as we can see and speak to the other person almost as if they were right there in front of us. As desirable as those developments are, they reflect our society's obsession with instant gratification. We no longer take the time to slow down and reflect, something that letter writing forces us to do.
World Post Day marks the anniversary of the Universal Postal Establishment and is held annually on October 9th. Joseph Lopez, News 4.
Well, that's how we wrap up this edition of our News 4 report, a product of the Government Information Services Limited and the Ministry of Communications. I'm Nicola Barreto. Thank you for joining us.